Well, first off, let me tell you how I've always felt, and I still do. I have three priorities. My first priority is to my family, for their welfare and their safety. My second priority is the welfare and safety of all of my employees. My third concern and responsibility are the communities where we live and work and our stores are. Mm-hmm. In that sequence. That's how I look at it. And I've always been that way. I came from a working class family. We were in Detroit in high school in the city. Integrity and honesty and behaving yourself was built in with my father. And I was working all kinds of jobs. Cadillac, Chrysler, Ford, Nash, everybody agreed. Boomtown, making cars. They were good jobs, and people were taking those jobs. And I probably would have done somewhat the same. My brother Bob, who was a junior in high school, but had joined the reserves at the urging of my brother Fred, because he was a gun-ho Marine. And so Bob was in the reserves, and he was in Wyandotte High School in 11th grade, and they activated his unit, and Bob went to Korea. Wow. So I joined the Marine Corps. Spent 3 years in the Marine Corps, a year in Korea, some time in Europe, and then went back to school. When I first got out, I worked in a Ford Motor Company plant right there in Ypsilanti, and went to school at the same time. And I was working 6 days a week in the Ford Motor Company plant on the afternoon shift. I was able to stay in school and graduate in 1956. Then I quit working at Ford, so I decided I'd be a car salesman. So I never sold anything. So I walk up and down all the car dealers in town and ask for a job, and they laugh at me. But there was a brand new dealership opening up, and he was selling DeSotos and Plymouths. And one of the guys hired me. And actually, I was a good car salesman. In fact, in 1956, the year I graduated, selling cars, I made $11,000. That was a fortune in 1956. I took a job at Connecticut General Life Insurance Company as a life insurance trainee salesman. I called on a guy by the name of Bill DiDonato, but I called on him to sell him some life insurance, and I did. And he was in a wholesale tire and battery business that called on gas stations and car dealers to sell them spark plugs, oil filters, tubes, tires, and that kind of thing. One of the nicest guys in the world, but not a good businessman. And so he was failing. I didn't have any money, and I had found out after a year and a half I was not a good life insurance salesman. It was not for me. I wasn't doing any good at it. And with $5,000, I bought 25% of Bill DiDonato's business and joined him in a partnership. So we took 6 tires. When I moved out of the warehouse, I had 6 tires and a bunch of miscellaneous accessories. So I walked down the street in Ann Arbor. I found an old plumbing building that was vacant, and I rented it for $400 a month. Went in and tore it apart, fixed it up, painted the pictures, and I opened a store. First store, and I called it Discount Tire Company. The name Discount Tire Company implies 2 things: low price and low quality. There's only 2 things in the business world that really count, and that's revenue and expenses. And the rest takes care of itself if you're lucky. So if we control our expenses, stay competitive enough to sell enough tires, get enough revenue, we're okay. I was only in the Marine Corps for 3 years, but I was a buck sergeant for a year and a half of that time. And so I was just pretty much always in charge, one way or another.